Hi there. Welcome to a series of videos called English for Emerson. In today's lesson, we're going to be answering a question that we asked last time, and that was, what do you like to do for fun? This is a very good question to ask somebody. You know, somebody once said, you've got to have a hobby. You got to have some hobbies. What's a hobby? A hobby is kind of like something that you do, but you don't really, it's not really your job. It's just something you kind of do for fun, to sort of just relax. So for example, some people like to go fishing for their hobby. Now there's people that their job is to go fishing. They're a professional fisherman or a fishing guide. But for most people, when they go fishing, it's just a hobby. Another hobby would be like playing soccer. Most people who play soccer, they don't get paid to do it. They're not a professional soccer player. There's some professional soccer players, but most people, for them, soccer is their hobby. It's like this with pretty much a lot of things that are fun, like gardening, fishing, playing soccer, playing music, acting. All these could be hobbies. Some people, their hobby is cooking. They love to buy cookbooks and try new recipes and have people over to their house to eat dinner. I don't know. But it's important in life to have some hobbies because it gives a person something to do to relax when they're not working. And sometimes, if you're lucky in life, you can turn a hobby into a job. What do I mean by that? Well, somebody their hobby is working on cars, for example. They're a mechanic. Well, maybe they decide they're so good at it and they enjoy it so much they just turn it into a job. They buy old cars, fix them up, and sell them to make money. There's a lot of people that do that. There are all kinds of shows on YouTube and cable television about people who do that. They go buy old stuff and fix it up and sell it for money, and that's their job. They turned a hobby into a job. I'm going to put the word up here, hobby. 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 Now, if you have hobbies, if there's more than one, you got two different hobbies, that's spelled different. That's Hobbies. Changes a little bit. Anyway, what do you like to do for fun? I hope that you know because we're going to write it down right now. For me, I'm going to write down my hobbies that I enjoy. And that's going to be, I like to play guitar and go hiking. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. What do you like to do for a hobby? Write it down. Write it down. I'll put some ideas up here. I starts here with a straight line down. I start from the top line, go through the middle, and down to the bottom. Then I put a top bar and a bottom bar. I like kind of starts the same way that the I did. The straight line, only we just leave it. That's a lowercase l, straight line down, easy. Like, we talked about this last time when we did this lesson. This word has a silent E. It's not likey, and I tell you what, you might get tired of it, but I'm going to talk about this silent E in probably every lesson. When there's a vowel in the word before the E, and the E comes at the end of the word, that E is silent. Like, not likey, like. I like to T-O. I'm going to see if I can fit play right here. The P, the lowercase p goes below the bottom line. Do you notice that all these other words letters stop at the bottom line, but not P? Lowercase p goes below the bottom line. I love it. I love to go out of the lines. P-L-A-Y. Diagonal. And the lowercase y also goes below the bottom line. I like to play guitar. Gosh, that's a weird word, guitar. Starts with a G. The letter G, even though it's a J, can make the sound G. Isn't that weird? Instead of calling it a G, why didn't they call it a G? I don't know. Here we go. Lowercase g starts like a lowercase c. Then we put a tail on it. Going below the bottom line. Yeah. I hope the U comes before the I. You know, sometimes I get letters mixed up. I'm not kidding. I don't know, to be honest, if the G comes before the I or not. I'm just guessing. I give it 50-50 chance. Guitar. So what I have to do, because I don't really know if the G comes before the I or not, I have to finish the lesson. Oh, here comes that guy again. He came by in the last lesson too. Interrupted my lessons. I'm going to have to finish this lesson, and I got to go back and look up on the online dictionary if that's right. Do I put the U first or the I? I get them mixed up. Guitar. Can you hear the... Here he comes again. Can you hear the T? Guitar. Guitar. I hear the T. Now we know that when we end a word with an R, it's usually an AR. That guy's still making noise out there. A and then R, straight line down from the middle and one hill and stop. I like to play guitar. And I'm going to put a comma after this. I don't know if it belongs there or not. Comma is kind of a little pause. I like to play guitar and go hiking. I'm not really sure about that comma, but I hear a little pause there. I like to play guitar and go hiking. I hear a little pause. And, A-N-D. Do you know that word comma? I'll put it up here maybe. C-O-M-M-A. It's a little dash we make here that indicates there's a pause in the sentence. A pause is like a little break. It's a little break. It's not a full break, just a little break. I like to play guitar and go hiking. Go. Can you hear the G? We did that before with guitar. G. We started with a G for go. Starts like a lowercase c, we put the tail on it. Below the bottom line. Go. And then hiking. Hiking. Do you hear that? That's an H. Starts that word hiking. High. H-I. Hiking. I hear the K. I hope you do too. I hear that K. Arm and then a leg. And then we've talked about this before. Hiking. Ing. Do you remember? So important in English. We should know by memory when we heard that sound ing, it's an I-N-G. So we're getting a heck of a lot of G's in this lesson, aren't we? Yeah, hiking. I-N-G. Starts like a lowercase c, then we give it a tail. Down. Below the bottom line. I like to play guitar and go hiking. I really do. I enjoy getting out and going hiking. It's something about it. It's always appealed to me, ever from the time I was a little kid. And I several years ago, I learned how to play the guitar just a little bit. Rock and roll, baby, just a little bit. So now I've finished. Gotta turn off this thing. I know. I had to do it. I gotta end my sentence here with a period. But I tell you what, you know that you might not like to play guitar and you might not like hiking. So what do you want to do for your hobbies? I've put some up here. I've put up soccer, fishing, camping. I put in boating. I put in, let's see, what else did I put in here? I put in gardening, and I put in video games. This is just a few ideas. I can't put that up that many because it won't allow me to put in too many words, It won't allow me to put in too many words. So I hope that you had the opportunity to write down what you like to do for your hobbies. Let's think of some other hobbies. Oh, swimming. That's another good one. Maybe I'll put that up here. Swimming. What's another one that we could put in? We could put in basketball. We could put in cooking. We could put in mountain climbing. Sailing. That's a hobby I've never done. Sailing. Never done it. Some people like skydiving. There are some people on YouTube now that get out there and jump out of airplanes with no parachute. And then they just fly through the air. And then eventually they have other people with them. And then they get together. And then they hook up. And then they parachute down. Skydiving has become a popular hobby. Some people like dancing. Hockey, ice skating. I don't know. Some people like to knit, with needle and thread and make clothes. Knitting, I guess, is a hobby. Golfing is a very popular hobby here in America. Golfing. A popular hobby also in America is something called home improvement. What's home improvement? Like putting in nice new cabinets. These are beautiful wood cabinets. They like to improve their house. That's a hobby. They clear all the stuff out of the kitchen and go in and put in all new cabinets and countertops and, redesign their house. What are some hobbies? I think that's enough. Scuba diving. That's another popular hobby that people have. They go out in the ocean and go on some vacation where they get the tank and they get the face mask and all the stuff and the tubes and everything, and then they swim down there with the fish. I've never done it. Most of these hobbies, if I think about it, I've never really done. That's kind of sad, but it's the truth. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Done. Done. I like to play guitar and go hiking. I hope that you finished up and wrote your hobbies down, and that's it for English for Emerson. Next time, we'll talk about something else. Bye-bye.